Hey everybody, just want to share a quick little insight from my study journal conference. Since I finished up the 1930 conference this morning on my run, I was listening to the October 2025 conference. And I was listening to Elder Gary E. Stevenson's talk about being a peacemaker. And I had two different thoughts that I had while I was listening to this talk. First and foremost, I love the talk, but it makes me sad that it's going to be weaponized. Because I saw President Nelson's talk on the same topic be weaponized. Now, what am I talking about? When we hear talk about peacemakers, our job is to listen to it and say, how does this apply to me? How can I be a better peacemaker? And then go and do. What so many people will do is they will then go online and say, hey, the prophet said this, or Elder Stevenson said this, and they'll grab his words like a blunt force object and start whapping you over the head. I saw this so much when the prophet said we need to use the full name of the church. People went rabid attacking members of the church, saying, stop using the word Mormon. I had so many people that I was seeing on a comments attacking other people. I'm like, this is obviously not following the prophet. What are you doing? And so that's just a side note. The real thing I was thinking about was the importance of understanding what is the peace we are trying to establish. The peace we're trying to establish is not a lack of conflict or contention. That is not the peace of the gospel. That is not what the peace that we are designed and called to be peacemakers of. We are called to be peacemakers in the sense that the gospel produces peace. The gospel produces the peace that we are seeking, the world is seeking, and we are to be the makers of. We are to help others come unto Christ. We are to be disciple makers. And then as men become disciples, then they enjoy the peace. As families become disciples, they enjoy peace. As communities become disciples, they enjoy the peace of the Spirit. It's a fruit of the Spirit. When we think that we can create peace through a different medium, then we go off the rails. I see so many people who think that peace is going to be a lack of anything controversial or anything that causes conflict. I see people stripping out the family proclamation. They're like, oh, you can't talk about the family proclamation because that's not being a peacemaker. That's the exact opposite. Peace comes from Christ. Christ comes to us through living and keeping our covenants and the doctrine of his church. When we reject the very core of becoming like Christ, we reject the very peace that we're called to be makers of. It's important to remember the natural man is an enemy to God and it will always be in conflict. When we teach the gospel, it will always cause conflict. If you think you can teach the gospel and not cause conflict, you're delusional. It doesn't work that way. Now, you can be loving, you can be kind, but it will always cause conflict because the natural man will resist it. Our job is to present the gospel and invite others to come into Christ, and then he will provide the peace. We do not create the peace. The peace is not from us. The peace is through us as a vehicle because we are living the gospel. And it's important to understand that.